Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. First video of 2025. Right, I'll show you, excuse me, I'll show you what I did last night after the video, because as soon as the glue set, I did some other work on this signal box. So as you can see now, it's nice and solid, no problem. And I'm going to get a pointer just to point what's what. So remember I'd replaced a piece of framing down here. Of course, this is very non-aligned. So this part here was sticking out. So to straighten it all up, I added some 0.75 2mm by 0.75 millimeters thickness styrene profile here. This is a 2mm and this is a 1mm. The 1mm part goes all the way up to the top. The 2mm part begins under this supporting bracket, which is here. And this is one of the surviving supporting brackets. They're not all here. Some were missing, some broke, went up on dismantling, etc, etc. So now this is nice and flush. So I'll be able to paint this grey. I'll just mix the right shade of grey. As you can see, I managed to obtain by adding some white to the grey that I bought, the Vallejo grey, to get a very similar shade of grey. This is unpainted and this is painted. Okay, so I did that. Then over here we had a similar problem. There was a big kind of gap here, very ugly. I fitted a small length of 1mm by 0.75 millimeter thick, 1mm profile, which will be then painted. Then, as you can see here, I've reconstructed the missing brackets using copper wire. Here it is. And I've managed to do that. Then, and I fitted them at this side. I've not fitted them all at this side here because one of them, I'll show you what I managed to do. I managed to reconstruct a partially damaged bracket, there we go, with using copper wire. So that will be fitted on there. And here, there were some bits and pieces that were lying around, but I've decided I'm going to just reconstruct this one here as well. I might sort of keep this piece. There's a sort of bit here. I'll see what to do. I'm going to reconstruct this one here as well, which is completely missing, and probably just cut this off and then go directly with. Here there's a bit of a gap, but it's not so bad, so I'm just going to paint that over, and this is okay. I don't need to add any extra parts here because it's relatively flush, of course. Everything is relative here. So we're going to overpaint this because, as I've told you in other videos, glue and glaze is perfectly you can paint it. You can paint glue and glaze, no problem. So this is going to get some grey so that it blends in nicely. Then, what's the next step? Here you can see there was a missing piece of framing. I've replaced that. This is just 2mm. And now we're going to fit, the next step is to fit the gable ends. The gable ends, we don't need to use glue and glaze, we'll use Tamiya cement because the gable ends just glue directly onto the brickwork. Okay, so we're going to do that right this minute. Because once we've fitted the gable ends, we'll be able to fit the side panels. We'll keep one handy just to make sure that everything is okay. So I'm still using the old bottle of Tamiya cement, which old bottle, to be able to use it, I have to transfer it into another bottle. In fact, the level is going down, so I'm probably going to have to get something even narrower. But we'll see what to do. I should get myself a little brush. You can get these very thin cement brushes, because this one here is too short. This one here is just too short. And but it's okay if I put it into another bottle, at least for the moment. And I can get another vessel anyway. I can, as long as it's something made of glass that doesn't. So I always do this, and then after I'm very careful, and I put it back into the main bottle. So you see that more or less I'm able to reach. You see, I'm able to wet the brush. Okay, so let's get this one here glued in place. I'm hoping that you can actually see what I'm doing. Maybe, I think it's okay. Okay, I'll just stay a wee bit further here so that you can see what I'm doing. Let me see, more or less. That's okay, that'll do. You're working, you're viewing things from the side today. Okay, right. Let's give this here some very nasty cold. Wetting the plastic. I'm being generous with the glue because we want to make sure that it sticks quickly. So always apply, in this case here it's not a matter of beauty, I always apply, I'm generous in applying the glue, even there like that, to make sure that everything glues on well. Right, now I'll take this, I'll press it in position. I want to make sure that's in, and that's in as well. Right, that's okay. And now that I've pressed it on, I'm just going to apply some more Tamiya cement by capillary effect. I'm being careful to not damage the painted parts, because the painted parts, the paint will dissolve if I don't. And I might at the very end do a light weathering of this to give the, also it would help camouflage some of these glue traces that are from the first assembly of this item here. Okay. There we go. Remember when we dismantled this, it was fitted all back to front with the framing inside. What a disaster. What an utter disaster. So regarding the windows, I'm going to fit the glazing after fitting the gable ends. I've already measured, it's like something like 41 millimeters across and 2.5 millimeters in height. So we'll fit that with glue and glaze. I've not cut that yet, but the main thing is to get this here, the gable ends fitted. Okay, let's do the other end as well. Same we're at it. Righto, same story. We will give it a good lashing of cement. Definitely will give the brickwork a very light weathering, maybe with some very, very diluted matte black paint to give it a sooty effect, and that'll cover some of the... I think I might go to the model shop and get myself a weathering brush particular brush, which I do not have. I'll get myself a weathering brush, I'll go and have a look. Any excuse is good for going to the model shop. I always like going. Okay, let's pop this in place. Let's see if we get that in. Is that in? Now this one here should set nicely. The other one was clipped in better, huh? This one's a wee bit less cooperative. Don't tell me I'm going to have to use glue and glaze for this one here. I'd prefer not to have to use glue and glaze because it's more work. Is this glued in? I think we have to we have to be more generous with the glue here, folks. Let's be generous with the glue. I'm being very generous. Plastering this here, painting plenty of glue on the frame. Okay, we should be good to go now. Let's just plaster some, put some glue here as well, and we should be on. On. Seems okay. Let's see. Seems good. I'm just going to help it a bit here at the sides. Capillary effect. When the gable ends on, it's already looking better. What do you say? So that's not bad. And say that this is on. Is it? Yep, it's on. It's set. There's also the one with a lighter green cap, which is a fast setting one, but I just use this, the normal one. It's good enough for my... Right, let's have a look and see what happens when I fit this in position. I wonder how many bits we're going to have to add to this. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad, not perfect, but not bad. That's quite okay. Let's see what happens on the other side. So of course nothing's properly aligned here, so that's what... We'll have to, off camera, see who fits, which side wall fits best. Of course these will be glued on with glue and glaze, so... Okay, that's not bad at all. Okay, very well, so there we go. We'll let the gable ends set, we'll let them dry properly before we go touching this, and I think it's beginning to look like a signal box. So next job, glazing. This way we fit the glazing here and here, and then the following job will be to put the actual sidewalls on, and we'll be actually getting there. In the meantime, I also worked on the ladder, on the stairs. The stairs, remember that this side here, this banister here, was actually cracked off, but it was sort of hanging on. It wasn't completely broken, and I had sort of put it back in position and then glued it with Tamiya cement. The other side here, the railings and banisters were snapped off completely. So, being very careful, I applied Tamiya cement and I glued them in position. Now the railings are not super straight, but they're not super squint either, so they're okay. They're okay for the condition I got the thing in. So not bad at all. Okay, so that's that for the moment. I'm putting this away in a jar here to make sure it doesn't get a sore head. And that's us for the moment. And if you enjoyed the video, so I see you like these construction videos, you enjoy them, I'm very pleased. They're not the most exciting videos. I've not got any backlog. I've not got any backlog of train running videos. Lately I've not been able, I've used everything up, but we're going to get there. My nephew is coming to see me on Friday, and hopefully I'm going to have the railway board out on Friday. That way we can play with trains. Okay, very well. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I wish you a very, very nice beginning of 2025, and cheerio, and see you next time. I'm going to have to get some couple of railwaymen in here, a couple of signalmen for the... Then of course we'll also have to rebuild there's a missing part here, the lamp. There should be a lamp here at the front. That's another job I'm going to have to, that's another thing I'll do, a nice lamp. Now that's easy, piece of wire, etc. Okay, cheerio, and see you next time. Ciao, ciao.